What's up, guys? Dzeeff here, and today is pretty exciting, a pretty wild afternoon here, because the new ban list just got posted. This originally was posted on the UK site. It seems to be a little bit slower to make it to North America here, but it's uploaded, so we can take a look at it. I don't know any of the cards on the list. I know that it starts October 14th, though. I did see that when I opened the window, just to double check that it was real. And what's funny about this, just real quick, is that this is the second time in a row that I've had a video scheduled on the exact same, not only exact same day, but on the exact same hour that the ban list was updated. If you remember the last one, I actually didn't catch it fast enough, so the video got uploaded for about 5-10 minutes, and then it looked pretty silly because it was a ban list prediction video. This case, I did catch it, luckily, but real shame because this video is fantastic. I'm still going to post this video. I'll change it a little bit. We're going to change it into, instead of predictions only, it's going to be expectations versus reality. This is a collaboration I filmed with Farfa and Nim, and it was fantastic. It came out really great. Very similar to something that you might have seen Gage and I do like a year ago at the ARG Invitational about a different ban list prediction video, but this video is fantastic. It's still going to get uploaded. I'll just change it a little bit, but you won't see that for probably a couple days here, except to go back and edit it. But yes, this is the new ban list here, and like I said, I haven't seen it, and just to prove it's real, of course, I'm sure most of you know it's going to be real, right? Because there's going to be so many posts about it, but you go to whatever area that you're located in, you go to Forbidden and Limited list. Like I said earlier, it was only found on the UK site, but now it's found in all of them, which is really neat. I think in the past couple ones, we've actually had to look at the UK site just because that one updates a little bit sooner than the other sites. So we can see here it is updated 10/9, and it says the next update after this will be no sooner than January 13th, 2020. Wow, 2020, that's pretty crazy. So this is going to be a list that we're going to have for a bunch of YCSs. I believe YCS London is at the end of October, then you have YCS Pasadena in November, so that's mainly what you're looking at here, and also tons of regional qualifiers. Really feels like this past season of regional qualifiers, they've like stepped it up. There's a lot of them out there. Anyway, there's nothing new here that I can see. We can kind of scroll down here. We have two. we have two Link monsters banned. Oh my gosh. Guard Dragon, Agripane, and Knightmare Mermaid. What a world. Man, that is real. Oh man, Konami hates combo decks so much. I love it. Every single list, the past like 5 of them, Konami has like just outright banned a huge combo card or multiple combo cards. They've really been hammering against these combo players. Even with the release of Nibiru, Orcus was still one of the best decks. I really hope though this means that they're going to hit Skyscrapers in some way, because I'm not looking forward to another format of Skyscrapers. I've been wrong on that before, but we'll see. Guard Dragon, Agripane. I won't spoil all of our predictions. You guys can watch that video in the next couple days here, but that is pretty wild. I think most people had guessed that Mermaid would get banned. It is banned in the OCG, so that's, it doesn't make too much sense for them not to ban it here. I mean, I know those two formats are pretty different. I really don't think that Konami enjoyed that any two monsters with different names in the entire game are the exact same combo. It really takes away a lot of like the sort of like deck identity that some strategies have, just because they're all descending on the Orcus combo. We even saw Fluffle Orcus like last weekend, so it makes sense. Orcus I think are still playable. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, you can just play them out the Mermaid. They were sort of like a rogue deck before we had Orcus Knightmare come out, so we'll have to see what happens here. Maybe people will still play them. Still have a pretty good draw spell that just draws 2, and they have all their other cards. Well, I guess we don't know that. As far as Agripane goes, will people still play Guard Dragons? I mean, it kind of depends on the rest of the list. LP is still really strong though. Special summoning a monster from your deck is always going to be really good. We've actually seen a ton of the cards on this list that have that same ability. I mean, we have what do we got? Summon Sorceress. We got Phantom Knights that kind of special summons from the deck. We got Denglong, which is crazy. A lot of cards that special summon from the deck should get hit on the ban list just because they're so crazy in terms of you don't have to draw the card to special summon them. As far as those two hits though, it's going to be pretty darn good. We'll see what else is on here. Nothing? No other ban cards. Okay. So only 2 ban cards. I wonder how big this list is going to be. The last one was like huge, so we'll have to see here. Maybe they took some cards off the list. But only 2 ban cards. Only banning Link monsters. A lot of Link monsters on the ban list in a very short period of time, unlike all these Exceeds monsters. So no other ban cards. Let's take oh. Okay, so it's a lot of blank spots there. We got a lot of blank spots, and then we finally get down to Widowmaker to 1. Okay, I believe that it is limited or semi-limited in OCG format, so instead of they are really sticking by and not hitting engage, huh? Maybe they'll semi-limit engage or something, semi-limit race, do something more, but only 1 Widowmaker. Okay, I mean, that's a pretty big deal, right? You can't go against a field of multiple Widowmakers. They are really hurting Skyscrapers. Well, we'll take a look here after we see everything and see if there's anything else. We have, oh my gosh, Dark Dragon. I will spoil this. I did in fact predict that this card would get semi-limited, and that's pretty funny that it actually happened. I believe the card is currently unlimited in the OCG, and like no one's playing it, but that is really cool actually. I mean, Dark Dragon has been limited for a long time. We're talking 10 plus years here, so it's cool to see it finally come back. I actually did enjoy playing it a lot in the Burning Abyss deck from a year ago that I played at Pasadena. It was really cool in there because you could manage the Darks in your graveyard with all these banishing effects. You had Barbar, you had Fairy Tale Snow, so it was kind of a cool thing. Maybe if you're playing, I don't think anyone is, but maybe if you're playing Element Sabers, it'll be pretty cool for you, because then you can adjust the attributes in your graveyard pretty easily. That's pretty surprising though, like limiting this card for so long, and then I feel like it's almost past its prime now. Maybe if it would have came back to 2 a few years ago, it would have mattered, but right now I'm not sure. Cards just have to be good going first, unfortunately, and then if you're playing this card only for going second, it's like a situation where, okay, you have so many other good options going second, but perhaps the deck will come out there, maybe something very similar to that Burning Abyss Pasadena list that I played, where it actually can play Dark Dragon and be pretty successful. And then we have, oh my gosh, okay. So first, we have Chaos Emperor Dragon and We're the End going to from semi-limited to unlimited. Makes sense, no one's playing it. The errata makes it terrible. Destiny Hero Malicious, though, on the other hand, is a really strong card that I'm a little shocked to see go back to 3 so soon after being limited, or after being semi-limited, I should say. I guess there's no Summon Stork anymore. I guess they've taken out a lot of those crazy combo cards, and there's no Nightmares, obviously. Well, there's no Nightmare Mermaid combo anymore. So maybe that's where they're coming from. That's pretty wild, though. That card hasn't, I mean, that card still has like a lot of the same like sort of issues as far as being too strong that it did like when it was banned, or not when it was banned, when it was semi-limited. Sorry, I say banned, but I mean it was still getting played at too. But it's just very strong card. No non-hard ones return abilities. It's really cool for players that are trying to abuse it. We have Ether to 3 from semi-limited. Makes sense. No one played Monarchs. Stratos to 3. Once again, just like Dark Dragon, this card was actually limited before Dark Dragon, so more than 10 plus years. Well, it's already 10 plus years. Whatever. It's been limited for a very long time, and then it got semi-limited recently. Pretty crazy to see it go to 3 though. I honestly never thought in a million years that I would be able to see Stratos go back to 3 at any point in my like Yu-Gi-Oh career. It is just completely wild, and it looks like they're doing that for other things too. So I know you guys have probably already read these, but we have Inzektor Dragonfly, pretty crazy. We have Shrit, which I think a lot of people were asking for. We have Construct, which is really cool. We did see the Shadal engine actually go into like competitive play recently in the going second Shadal list. Did not play even a single copy of Construct though. They only played Winda because that was one that you can make off of Darks. Send an Orcus monster, send a Shadal Dragon, pop a back row, so on and so forth. Really strong card there, but it is kind of interesting to see. Maybe with 3 Construct, you can see people actually playing some sort of deck with Shadals and light monsters. A lot of light monsters have gotten hit recently. I mean, you have a lot of like Fairy Tale Snow. That was like the biggest one that was really cool. That maybe would have been cool, I guess, in combination with Construct. I say it was cool, but Construct was banned before Snow came out. But it was like a card. You know, a lot of people used to play Trick Clown when it came out, and that card's still legal, and we have Damage Juggler back as well. So, I mean, Damage Juggler is still semi-limited, but still really strong. And then we have Royal Tribute. Obviously really bad with the new verification rules because you don't get to verify your opponent's hand. Even if they aren't cheating, which I think it's pretty safe to say, I mean, in most cases, your opponent isn't going to just try to cheat you with a card like this. But even if they're not cheating, the main problem is, like, if you discard 3 cards out of their 5-card hand, it was really valuable knowing what those last 2 cards were, last 2 spells and traps. So it's kind of sad they can't do that anymore. And then, so surprised here, Super Rejuvenation going from banned all the way to 3. Konami must not care about this card at all. They must not be worried even a little bit. The chances of a card, even a card that's like good or bad, going from 0 to 3 on a list is almost 0. Even cards like what's like a funny one, like Spore and Glow Up Ball, even those, well, Glow Up Ball is really strong obviously, but Spore is a good one where no one's ever going to play more than 1 copy, and even that card went to limited first. It is very rare for a card to go. I mean, I remember when they brought back Magician of Faith and it was way outclassed by other cards at the time, it was super slow, still went to 1 first. I mean, it is just wild to me that this card would go to 3 copies per deck. I guess they really just looked at like the card pool and said there are no dragon monsters discarding. I mean, Blue Eyes decks are around, and I guess they'll like this card a lot, but even then, is it enough? I mean, drawing into hand traps, there's a lot of other crazy things going on right now, but I'm looking to look out for this card. Stupid, but I'm looking out for this card just because it is very strong. If it actually goes off, you just gotta find the right deck. So I think Blue Eyes is up there, as like the number one choice. You know, you got all that draw power, all his discarding effects, Melody of the Awakening Dragon, which wasn't around when Super Juve was in the game. Lots of crazy cards, but this balance is pretty crazy. I think this is what a lot of people wanted. You know, the format for the most part I think was pretty balanced, and I think that what they were looking to address, if you look at like the YCS top cuts from the past couple events, seems like Orcus variants and Striker decks are like the number one and number two things that they were looking to hit. And even if Striker Engaged didn't take a hit, I think Widowmaker going to 1 is yet another thing to add onto the pile that makes Striker a little bit less consistent, a little bit less versatile, and they have like a little bit less longevity. I think it's like a big deal. People played Sky Strikers originally. Now they have one multi-roll, one Kagari, and one Widowmaker, all these 1-ofs, one Hornet Jones. We kind of forget that now because like it didn't seem like that big a deal at the time, but I mean, all these cards, if you put enough cards to one, the consistency is just hurt so much that you like can't play the deck. I think the deck is still playable. You still have 3 Engage, you still have 3 Ray, those are like the best cards, but in terms of longevity, you are really making it harder to play the deck because now their interruptions that they're ending on aren't really like a bunch of Widowmakers. You'll have Shark Can, you'll have Eagle Booster, but you're only going to have that one Widowmaker, which is going to be pretty tough. Also means after you've used that one Widowmaker and you've used that one Kagari, your recycling power is very low. You won't have a lot of high impact stuff to search off the Engage when like trying to break a board. You'll have the Shark Cannon, but in terms of like stealing a bunch of monsters, that just won't actually happen. We'll have to wait and see though, as far as Orcus decks and as far as Striker decks, how good or how bad they actually are. Looking forward to this a lot. There are some events this weekend and those won't really matter that much anymore. I like to see whenever it's like one last weekend of events, I like to see people really trying crazy stuff. Maybe I'll see some flufful Orcus decks out there, people just trying to get one last hurrah in before the deck gets banned or whatever, but I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks. It's going to be pretty exciting. Anyway though, let me know what you guys think about the balance in the comment section below. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.